Welcome everybody back to Next Level Contractor and One Exam Prep. And today we're joined by Andrew from One Exam Prep. Welcome, Andrew.
Hey, no, thanks for having me back. Always a pleasure.
Great. So today our topic is getting licensed as a New Mexico contractor in 2026. The one state license, one qualifying party, and the exams that stand behind it. So jumping into New Mexico. For someone who's licensed in another state, what's the first thing to understand about New Mexico?
So, other states, you might run into, I got a board for my residential, a board for my commercial, a board for my chicken coops, right? Not the case. New Mexico, unified under the construction industries division. No patchwork of separate boards or register instead of license. You pick a classification, you qualify for it, you get your license. The twist is that who the license belongs to, it trips some people up.
Okay,
So,
so you say the license doesn't go to a person here. Explain that.
So in New Mexico, it's the business entity that's licensed, whether that's a corporation, LLC, partnership, sole proprietorship, joint venture. You're not licensed personally, but what makes the company's license valid is a certified qualifying party, right?
Mhm.
So that's an individual who has the experience and passed the exams and is basically standing behind the business.
Okay, so let me ask you a question people may not be thinking about. What happens if that qualifying party walks out the door?
So the license can't operate without the qualifying party. If you lose the qualifying party, you have to notify the board within 30 days and the license is canceled until it's qualified again. So
Hmm.
it's not a lot. You basically have 30 days to figure it out. So if
Wow.
you're not prepared, it can leave you in a tough spot.
Yeah, for sure.
But the one caveat, work in progress can continue for up to, I think it's 120 days. So a little bit of leeway there, but still not a great spot to be in, especially if you're bidding on jobs.
Yeah, for sure. For
So
sure.
keeping a qualifying party is and attached, it's and definitely to your benefit.
The easiest solution is if you're the business owner and the qualifying party, then that kind of solves it.
Yep, that would be the safest way.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. License classifications. There's a lot of classifications in New Mexico. So how should somebody figure out which one they need?
So you want to first things first, match the classification to the scope you do, right? The big families are GB for general building, GA for general engineering. That's like roads and paving, things like that. GF for fixed work, things like bridges and utilities, and GS for specialty trades, plus the electrical, mechanical, and plumbing families.
Hmm.
Each one is going to have its own trade exam, and the scope of every classification, you can find that on New Mexico's website. Because, for example, under the general building category, there could be some specialties under there, things like that.
Hmm.
Um,
Got it. Um, okay. So with the path here, so walk us through the path from zero, from when you're starting out to actually getting licensed.
So it's 5 steps pretty much, right? First and foremost, you have to get experience. For the major categories, you need 4 years. For the specialties, you need 2 years. That's all got to be within the last 10 years, right?
Mhm.
Then once you have the experience, you got to get your application approved. Once the application's approved, you got to pass your exams. Once you pass the exams, or really you're going to want to do this before, but you want to have your bonding and insurance. And then 5, you would get issued the license.
Mhm. Got it. So where do people lose time in this process?
The clock, but it comes down, like, a lot of people don't realize that once your application is approved, you have 6 months to pass the test, right?
Wow. Hmm.
So if you're like thinking about it like, oh, I'm gonna wait till I get approved to prepare for the tests, not what I would recommend at all. You want to start perfect perfect scenario.
Hmm.
You have an expert working on that approval for you, and you're studying throughout that process. So the moment you get approved, you can knock the tests out. Where you don't want to be is a situation where, you know, you're running your business, running your family. It's taking all your time to just get everything together for the approval. You're going to study after, but then you get the approval and something happens with your business or your personal life. And all of a sudden, oh, I can't study, it snowballs. And all of a sudden 6 months go by and where are you? So I would always recommend start studying early during that approval process.
Right. Okay. So with regard to work experience, I know you've outlined some things here, but can schooling count, and how is that experience proven?
So schooling will count. Each year of accredited training, it essentially counts as half. So if you have a year, it'll count as 6 months, 2 years, a year, so on and so forth. But you can't use it for the whole requirement. If you have you're going for a major classification requires 4 years, you can use it for up to 2 years. So if you had 4 years of schooling, you could use it for 2 years of that experience requirement. And 1 year for 2 years would get you 1 year towards the specialty of the 2-year requirement.
Got it. All right. So talk about what someone should budget for these exams.
So these are open book exams. So the one cost that's not listed here on the slide is the books. I would recommend renting the books. You got to bring them into the exam with you. You use them, but then you're done with them. The internet exists. The code change all the time. Rent the books. Don't blow your wallet purchasing a whole set of books. But most exams are going to be about $68, $69 each. So that's for your business and your trade. So you're, round up just $140 roughly. A few will cost more, like the electrical, but $200 max, right? Somewhere between $140, $200 to get both exams done.
And what is the financial responsibility piece?
So there's a $10,000 surety bond that's required.
Got it.
At initial license and every renewal, right? It's not general liability. It's not your general liability insurance. It's for really for code violations is really what it's for. So you're still going to need general liability. Just one note on the bond real quick, Noah, before we move on. It's not $10,000 a year. I believe it would be about 1% of that. So I think you're looking at $100.
Yeah. And you guys can actually help with that, right?
Yeah, absolutely. We are full insurance bond one-stop shop.
Okay, great. All right, so let's jump into the exams. So talk about the exam. What's the format? What happens if you fail? Is there anything around the trade exam? So just walk us through this.
Okay, so PSI administers the exams. As stated, there's going to be 2 of them. There's going to be your business law and your trade, and you got to pass them within 1 year of each other, right? So remember, you have 6 months though to get everything done from the time you're approved, right? Before you have to reapply. So that it's kind of a complicated situation, but where you could end up. You get approved, you pass one exam, your approval lapses, so you get reapproved, and then you have to pass the other one. Like, you don't want to be there. But computer-based open book, gotta get a 75% on them to pass.
Which is higher than a lot of states, actually.
Yep, higher than most. Usually it's 70%. But here's the thing. Here's the trick with these open book exams. They're not testing you on how good you do your job on the trade or how well you run a business on that business law. The answers are in the books. You got the books in front of you. You got the answers in front of you. The people who pass these exams the first time recognize that, take advantage of it. Understand it's not about what I know, how good I am at my job. It's about how efficiently and how familiar I am with this book, how efficiently I can reference this book. So the folks that work focus prep, learning how to use that book, how to navigate that book quickly, efficiently, they're the folks who pass the first time, right? You use a focus course like something One Exam Prep offers, you'll pass the first time and you don't have to worry about retaking. For if you do have to retake, most of them you can't take more than twice in 30 days. And if you fail twice, then you have to wait 30 more days. Again, your scores are valid for a year.
Okay, so you mentioned tabbing and highlighting the books. How does that help with passing?
So timed exams, you have about 3 minutes a question. Tabs are little stickers that go around the perimeter of the books, right? So if you read the question, you've been practicing with the book, you recognize the keyword in the question, you know that you need to be on your IRS tax schedule chart, right? Thumbing through the book, finding that tax schedule chart. All right, if it was about a third of the way through, you're clumsy with the pages, whatever, you could lose all your time. But if you have a nice sticker there that says IRS tax schedule and you open right up to it, there you go. So I recommend professionally highlighted and tab books. You know, the tabs are going to be for the most commonly referenced areas on your exam, and you know they're going to be in the right spot. Permanently affixed tabs, trying to do it yourself, you put one in the wrong spot, it's stuck there. So
Right.
measure twice, cut once.
Right, absolutely. All right, so I saw this on a previous slide about NASCL exam. Talk about the NASCL exam and what does it accomplish?
So NASGLA, it's a lot of folks will say that it's a common misconception is they refer to it as a license. It is exactly as you stated. It's an exam. It's a standardized exam that's accepted by 17 different municipalities in lieu of, they all call them different things, but it usually breaks down to either a general contractor or commercial building license. And New Mexico will waive its trade exam fee if you have NASGLA exam scores. So for someone who's looking to get into the New Mexico market from another state may already have NASCA exam scores, makes it much easier for them. Someone who is just starting out in New Mexico, but wants to be able to bid on jobs in Arizona, in Utah, in other places, the NASCA exam is a great option to consider because it makes getting licensed in those other states much easier, just like it does for someone who's coming into New Mexico who already has those scores. NASCA holds your scores in the database, and you can forward them to state agencies electronically, and they're always there. They don't expire. Once you have NASCA scores, good to go.
Right. Okay. So I think you've got a little video here for us. So walk us.
So I spoke a lot about focus prep, right? Making sure you're preparing the right way. This is one exam prep course for the NASCA exam. You see, it starts out, there's live classes once a week, a class recording library, and then book by book practice tests to make you a master of referencing each book. Learn to recognize what keywords are coming from what sections, what type of questions can I expect from this book. So there you see 24/7 on-demand streaming library of classes. All the classes get recorded and uploaded the next day. And also, this is really key at the end of the course here, you're going to have final exam simulators that nobody knows the exact questions you're going to see, but we know that scope, and we're very good at asking very similar types of questions. So general rule of thumb, if you're passing our simulators, go take the test with confidence, expect to pass the exam. And what you notice there, what's really cool about our simulators is if you get a question wrong, before it shows you the next question, it's going to show you the book and the exact location of the book where you should have been for that answer. So while that question's still fresh in your mind, that's how people learn, right? Not wait until the end and going back over after it's already occurred.
Right. Yeah, that's great. Okay. All right, so let's talk about renewals. Once you're licensed, what keeps you in good standing?
So one, renewing on time, right? They're going to let you know about 30 days beforehand, but just being on top of it and knowing about it, right? Two will be keeping that qualifying party, right? You don't want to lose them. To your point earlier, best, safest way to do it is if it's your business, qualify your own business, right? Also, you got to keep that bond renewed. You got to renew that bond every year. It's only $100, but you can't forget about it. And the workers' comp insurance. That's the other thing that you have to show the proof of every single year. Now, one thing I want to mention that's not a requirement, but it should be for yourself if you're looking to get in the business or if you have a business, the liability insurance. Just because a state doesn't necessarily require it to issue the license, it's foolish not to have it. So you should always make sure you have that.
Yeah, absolutely, that for sure. Heard way too many stories.
Yeah, it ruins livelihoods.
Yeah, yeah. The license is the least of your problems.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. Any final takeaways for aspiring New Mexico contractors?
I know we covered a lot of information here in a short time. So anybody who is just curious, has questions, don't hesitate to reach out. I love talking about this stuff. I love helping folks out, pointing them in the right direction. And if a license is right for you, we have all the book packages, all the courses, the insurance, bond, all the help you need. We got it. A one-stop shop, ready to get you licensed.
Great, great. Yeah, and yeah, as you can see, One Exam Prep has there are all the licenses in New Mexico, covering all of them with packages to help you pass the exam. Andrew's available, or his team. One Exam Prep, he's got a special code for you, NM10 off for 10% off any New Mexico contractor package. You can use that either with the team over the phone or on the website. Andrew, always a pleasure. Thank you so much for giving us insight about New Mexico and how to become successful, get your career off the ground there.
Absolutely. No, thank you for inviting me back.
All right, everybody. Good luck.